Hi, friends. Today is the full moon in Aquarius, and it has been quite a month, hasn't it? We've had that big conjunction that came about on the 30th, I think, yeah, kind of, no, 31st, excuse me, actually, it was kind of like there anyway, but it was an exactitude on the 31st between Uranus, which is change and disruption and chaos and revolution and rebellion and genius, brilliance. And it's for the people. It's really for all of us. It's an energy that stretches out has little fingers and tentacles into each and every one of our lives and us as a whole. So chaos is abundant. This is nothing new. It's in Taurus, which is really wants to be kind of comfortable and stable and practical. And, Uranus really doesn't want to have anything to do with this. This has been going on for several years and will continue to go on for several more years. So if you wonder what's causing kind of all this craziness and static, this is part of it. There's been some monumental transits over the years that have kicked us into this energy. But it's all for us. It's all for our transformation. And I try to be super positive about this, right? Because what good does it do to be negative about it? We really have to just go with the flow, try not to be too rigid so we don't break in half. But it is a rather unnerving energy. So before we get started about this particular full moon, because we're going to talk about, this may not be the easiest full moon for a lot of folks. I want to do just a few housekeeping notes. One, we've got beginning astrology 101 starting on September 14th. So very excited about the new classes starting up. Didn't do any last year, so it's time now to get back out there. I love to teach. This is not a really passive course. So, you're going to get a lot of attention, particularly about, your chart, natal charts. If you just if you've dabbled in it, if you're interested in it, but you can't really seem to grasp all of the stuff, we're going to learn everything from the zodiacs, the glyphs, the houses, the energies, all that stuff. And we're going to learn what it means to you and your special, very unique blueprint or map or whatever you want to call it, that God actually kind of designed, because he is or she is the creator, right? So all of the cosmos, the universe is working for you, created. You were created in this energy. So that's what we want to dive into. And you're going to have so much fun, and you're going to meet so many people, nice friends. And it's an intimate class. It's not a great big class. But here's the good part. It's really deeply discounted until August 31st. And in addition to that, if you sign up before August 31st, you're going to get a free natal forecast reading as well. So that's $175 value. In addition to, it's like 65% off. So the link is in the comments. But just go and, look it up. Maybe you don't want to take it this time, but maybe next time. It's 5 classes, and you're going to be amazed how much you're going to learn. You'll be able to look up your chart, not only your chart, but after we go for a while, we're going to look at other people's charts in your life too. So that's number one. Number two is I have this new thing that's so cool, y'all. It's a text community, and it's not like a group text on Instant Messenger where everybody's ding, 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 ding. It's not like that. It's not a group. I send out daily videos or articles or just, little quips, inspirations, whatever. I send those out daily, almost, at very least 2 or 3 times a week. And in addition to that, you get to text me and get exclusive, personal feedback from me, when you send me a text, you can ask me questions that are, about your transits, things that you just go, if this means this, then what does this mean? So it's really cool. So try it free for the first week, and then it's only $5 a month thereafter. So that's a great deal. The link is also down below. And one more thing, my Reiki masters, if you're not familiar with Reiki, it's a healing energy that is just, I can't even tell you how much it's meant to me. And my personal growth and well-being, it has taught me how to, I'm a level 2 now, going for my master's, and my Reiki master, so I can be able to teach later in this, but I'm practicing now and I love it. And my Reiki masters, Martha Jensen and Lisa Bolton, are doing a Reiki share. And this is going to be August 16th. And it is for everyone, every level, whether you know anything about Reiki or you're a Reiki master. This is Holy Fire Reiki. So if you are interested in relaxation and you would like to be a part of this healing energy, which is extremely strong when we all get together, because everybody's putting their thoughts, their prayers, their energy into this one concentrated place, I highly recommend you RSVP at that link below. If you don't know about Reiki or you don't know about Holy Fire Reiki, there is all kinds of time to ask all your questions after the session. I believe they're doing it after the session, but don't quote me on that. It's a 30-minute session. It's not going to take up all day. And I believe, don't quote me on this, I believe it's at 3 p.m. Eastern, but it's definitely going to be on August 16th. So with that being said, let's talk astrology. All right. The link is down below. Don't forget that. So RSVP. And we'll send you the Zoom link for that. Okay. I want to share my screen. Good old Cafe Astrology has a pretty little chart of today. Let's see, where is it? Oh, this is what the text community looks like. So you can see these are some of the things that I send them out virtually every day. So these are just some of the texts that you'll get from me. And then everybody sends me a text almost every day. It's pretty awesome. Okay, so here we go. Here's the chart for the day. Thank you, Cafe Astrology. We love you for all you do. This is a pretty little chart, isn't it? It's very unusual, actually. So what we have, the big story here, we'll just cut to the chase. The big story is the full moon. So the moon opposite the sun, right, at the same degree. I believe it was about 9:36 Eastern time. And then a square going to this conjunction with the North Node and Uranus. And so a square, this is actually called a T-square. And it's pretty intense. And one thing that makes it even more intense than it would already be is that now Saturn is setting with the moon and in opposition to the sun and square Uranus. So in the North Node. And then we've got some other things too. So, anytime we have a full moon, this is about our feelings and our emotions. And it's about releasing something and letting something go usually, or it's finalizing something. This is the last of 3 super moons. And it is in Aquarius, in the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius being that, our friendships, our collective groups are really going to be affected by this. And really it's because this square, Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. It's also got a lot to do with Saturn. So that's the original. So here we go. We've got these two squaring off to one another. It's very it's a super complex full moon. I think it's going to show up a lot in friendships that are not necessarily serving you. Or like, I'll give you an example, like this past weekend was my birthday, and I had some friends over. And one of my friends, who is just probably one of the most philanthropic people I know, which is ruled by Aquarius, who happens to be a Taurus, who's been dealing with this personally firsthand with all of this change, because of the Taurus Uranus thing that's been going on for years. He has been he's been put in a situation where he's been doing his work for the collective, and for some reason it backfired on him, and he was kind of to say he was hurt and frustrated is a real it's a real understatement. And I think that's how it's going to show up. So he's been doing all this work for years for these folks and loving it. And then there was a misunderstanding, and it really didn't have much to do with him. And it caused a big shitstorm, to be honest with you. And he's in the middle of it. So that's the way it could play out for you. It could also play out just simply like, okay, well, this friendship has been for a season. It's not going to be one of those friendships that are going to last for a lifetime. And now we don't really see eye to eye. And so it's best that we just kind of part. It's really got to be a situation where you are giving just as much as you're receiving, and vice versa. If you're not giving enough, then you're probably going to get the boot out of a friendship. If you're giving too much, then you could be the person that can make that change, says Uranus. So I think that friendships and collective groups, particularly where they are dealing with, volunteering and social situations, any groups where you're doing that, I think that those are going to probably be an overhaul remodel, said Uranus. But that doesn't mean that's a bad thing. It also means that there's opportunities for you to change, get out of your comfort zone and go and put some energy toward something for the world, something for humankind. So make sure you're on the right side of that and that you're giving back. This is the way I give back, It's my joy. It's my muse. But to be honest with you, I can do a whole lot more. I was thinking, like, what can I do to be better? So we're going to look up Meals on Wheels, Rick and I will. So I think that's that piece. The other part of it is this Saturn. Where's this Saturn going to come in? Saturn is life lessons. It's restriction, government, authority. So where are these two? North Node, destiny. These two are talking north. We're going to change destiny is what the thread is between Uranus and North Node. We're going to change destiny. We're going to change while we're going into the future. That's what that energy is. It was kind of bumped up or amplified when Mars came in on the 1st of August, but it's separating a little bit. So, we're getting a little bit of, we thought we were getting a little bit of release, but then along comes Saturn and it starts restricting, because Saturn really doesn't like change. Saturn wants stability. Saturn wants everything to be right and disciplined and organized and have an order. Uranus doesn't care. Uranus is just the opposite. Let's create some chaos, shake it up. A lot of astrologers believe that this is a time where, we could see even more Earth disruptions, Taurus being Earth, so we can already look at what's happened since Uranus entered Taurus with all of the major weather events. But in this kind of situation, people are predicting that there's going to be more earthquakes and fires, even more than there have been. That's not my wheelhouse. I'm just putting it out there. People also say that this, and I can definitely see this, that it definitely could imply more revelations about political happenings. Let's just give an example. The FBI raiding Trump's Mar-a-Lago. We don't know why, but that happened. That was pretty big. Now it's come out that somebody was trying to assassinate Bolton. We can go on and on and on. So it could definitely take on a political thing. There's so many different political things going on. So just keep an eye on that. We may learn some things that we may get some truth out of all this as structures start to break up. That's not a bad thing. Truth's not a bad thing. So I'm going to put this positive spin on it because there is some good stuff going on. We've got Mercury exact in a trine, exact trine. A trine is a point of ease. It's a little bit of lift. So Mercury is our planet of communication, and it's in trine to Uranus. So Mercury is our thought process. It's our ideas, and it's the details. And Uranus wants to think, okay, freedom, independent thought. Okay, the two are like independent thoughts. Let's create. Let's think about how we can create liberty. Let's think about let's come up with an idea about how we can change things for the future. So Mercury moves really fast. Let's be sure and think about that in the next day or two. What can you do for your future? Because that's going to give you a little bit of lift. And I think it's a good thing. Another thing is that Venus, lovely Venus, which is attraction and love and money, is at a trine. Let's say that Venus just moved into, it's at 0 degrees, and it just moved into Leo. So it's always really powerful, right? At those very first degrees and at the very last degrees. And it'll be there until after the 1st of September. So Venus is love and attraction and money and harmony and balance. So that's so beautiful. And it is trine Neptune. It's not a real tight one. Well, it is actually at 24 degrees. So that's dreamy. Wow. It's very artistic, very artistic. So play some music, enjoy it. That's going to heal. It's going to heal you. No doubt it's going to heal you. We've got Jupiter at 8 degrees, and a lot of these are going backwards, man. We've got Jupiter in retrograde, Neptune in retrograde. Uranus is going to go in retrograde on the 24th of August. So all of that is just kind of slowing. It's going to slow everything down until we wind up with even more in retrograde. Let's see, I think there was more in retrograde. Yeah. Pluto is in retrograde. Saturn's in retrograde. So let's see what else I need to tell you. Pluto's kind of at a more loose opposition to Venus right now. It's kind of spreading apart. But I will tell you that as this opposition comes, you are definitely, without a doubt, actually, it's going to get a little bit stronger, going to get more passionate sex, quick, instant karmic connections. Expect that. What else can I tell you? I guess overall, the message here is think about your destiny, release friendships and groups that aren't serving you. It may be a heartbreak, but it's going to be better for everyone in the long run, especially if you're not feeling fulfilled. And if they're not feeling fulfilled, you'll understand. You'll know. It'll be very apparent. I think that the folks that are going to have the hardest time with this, or that are, let me say, not the hardest time, that are going to be most affected with this are going to be the fixed signs. And that would be Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Leo. I think those are going to be the ones that really, really feel it, and maybe earth signs. So with that, I just want to say blessings and stars. And I hope that you all take the most out of this beautiful time to experience what is new and waiting for you, and get out of your comfort zone and embrace something exciting and liberating. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Okay.